Hi, I'm Nikki. If you're watching this video, thank you so much for tuning in. In this video, I'm setting up my journal for 2023. I'm using this Yop and Tom journal with the celestial design on the front. The pages are really thick and they're bright white, which is exactly what I love in a journal. So getting into the setup, I've decided to go for a mushroom theme across my spreads. It's just something I thought would look cute, and it wasn't overly complicated to get done. This is my nameplate page, and I put this on the page as soon as you open up the journal. This journal does come with a place to write your name and a place for your contact details, but I've decided to just personalise it a bit more, add in this mushroom illustration as well as some craft paper, which you'll see in a minute, with my name on, just to make it my own but to also tie in all the spreads together. So I've just gone for this super easy mushroom illustration with some stars and a moon, and then on the right hand side I'm covering the nameplate that's pre-printed there with some craft paper and a book page, and just going for a little bit of a scrapbooky feel with it as well. And this is where I'm writing my name, and that's my nameplate. Moving on to my 2023 cover page. Again, I tried to keep it super simple with the mushrooms and the craft paper. For this page, I've gone with toadstool style mushrooms, and these were super easy to draw, and I really like how they ended up turning out in the end. I outlined them first with my brown fine liner, and then I went on to colour them in. So I coloured in the top of the toadstools with a Faber-Castell brush pen, and then once I got to the stalks, I used a mixture of my Faber-Castell and my Tombow brush pens. I did colour around the white spots, but you could probably use a white gel pen and you'd be able to achieve the same thing without, that probably would have been easier than what I did, which was colouring around every single individual little spot on my mushroom. But I still like how they turned out. I think they look really cute, and to be honest, I wish that I did these mushrooms throughout my entire setup rather than changing my style of mushroom, just because I feel like these ones came out great. Then I added in my craft paper and attempted this typewriter style font, which I used throughout the setup, and I do think it came out okay, but this kind of font is something that I definitely want to work at this year, because I feel like I need to develop my style and figure that out. So next is my future log, or year at a glance. I am only including the first 6 months of the year in this. I only expect the journal to last me until June time anyway, and this isn't really a spread that I use a lot. It is handy to have at the front of your journal if you just want to flick to it and find a quick date. But I personally don't really look at it too much after it's been set up. So I just started off with craft paper, and obviously those like book pages peering through, and I had a fiddle with the craft paper. It just seemed to take me ages to stick everything down how I wanted it. It just took a little while. Then I'm writing numbers 1 through to 6, and I'm writing this instead of the titles of the months. So I'm using again that typewriter style font that I used in the previous page, just to try and keep it cohesive. But yeah, they did, the numbers didn't turn out amazing, but they'll do, they didn't look horrendous. And once I've done this, I am going to write out all the mini calendars, but I actually ended up losing the footage of that, so you'll not have to go through the pain of watching me write out the calendar a million times. It's probably a good thing that I lost the footage for that one. So there we are. And then to finish it off, I just drew these simple mushrooms using my white gel pen, and added some gold stars. I added some lines next to my mini calendars as well, just so I can write down birthdays or events if I need to. And that's my future log half a year at a glance finished. Moving on to my goals page, I'm really hoping that I'll get a lot of use out of this page this year. There's a lot that I want to try and fingers crossed achieve, so I'm hoping that this spread will help me sort of visualise my goals. I've split my page into 4 sections, so I've got a space for my bullet journal, art, family and personal, just to try and help me get the most out of the spread. Again, I've used those easy mushrooms behind my title, and then I just had so much trouble with the craft paper. I couldn't get it to sit right and I was absolutely ready to give up, but we got there in the end. I managed to get it to sit semi-decent, and after trying a couple of different options, I just used my gold gel pen and did stars all across the craft paper just to finish it off. And that is my yearly goals page. Next is my 23 in 2023 spread, and this page is just essentially my 2023 bucket list, but I want to try and keep the things on the list achievable so that it actually feels like I'm ticking something off, like at least for this year, because I feel like it's easy to put things that are not unachievable, but are kind of a bit harder to achieve. So I'm going to keep this list quite simple and then put my bigger goals onto my goal spread. And then on the right hand side, I'm doing my then versus now. And I'm going to use this spread to write down like my favourite song or my favourite food or place or my favourite book at the start of January, and then I'll compare that to what my answers would be at the end of June. And I just think this is a really nice spread to like look back on in the future. I think it will be really interesting to see what I would have written at the start of 2023 and then by the middle of 2023. And then to finish off the spread, I just used some more of that craft paper, and then I grabbed my white gel pen and added in some mushrooms, and I also added in some more gold stars just to finish it off. And that's my 23 in 2023 and my then versus now spreads. So the final spread of my 2023 setup is my memory spread, and this is essentially just a box for each month of the year where I'm going to put a picture, my favourite memory of that month. And I feel like again this will just be such a nice spread to look back on. I've gone for those toadstool mushrooms again, and I'm really glad I did because I'm just really happy with how they turned out, and I think they look really good in the spread again. And like I said before, they're just so easy to draw and they just come out looking really, really good. So I just did them the same way as I did the ones on my cover page, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. I'm definitely excited to see how this spread will look in 6 months' time when I've filled in all those boxes and there's a little picture in each box, and I'll be able to look back and remember that specific memory. And now we're into the final flip through of all my spreads. If you did make it to the end, thank you so much for watching my video. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and hopefully there'll be more to come. Thank you for watching.